a mouse rather, can smell cheese through a 3-foot wall. And they will bore a hole, they'll chew a hole through that wall to get to that cheese, to the thing that they want the most, right? But at the flicker of a cat whisker, they run away in the opposite direction because they smell danger, right? They sense danger. Just with the flicker of a whisker, the mouse will be in the next friggin' county, right? And he'll forget about the cheese completely because he's in fear for his life. Well, in marketing, we tend to lead with our whiskers sticking out. In other words, we go in and say, "Hi, Bob, I'm Jimmy with so-and-so services, and we provide client services to multiple clients in your marketplace," and blah, 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 blah. Well, what are you? Well, you're a salesman that's there to get money from them, and they know it instantaneously. You never had a chance to build any relationship. You never had a chance to show them your value. You never had a chance to do anything, because as soon as you walked in the door with your whiskers sticking out, they raised their backed up into the corner, and tried to get the hell out of there before they had to part with their money, because that's their greatest fear. These guys are protecting their nest egg. Most business people have a certain amount of cash they're working with, and they'll do everything they can to protect it, and they're well within their right to do so. So they're going to protect against guys coming in to try to separate them from their money. And this was the big aha that I got. The first big aha I got from the cheese and whiskers idea was that if you lead with the cheese, with what the person really wants the most, it's much easier to engage them and to begin a conversation and a dialogue. Now, the second part of cheese and whiskers that was remarkable to me was something that these guys realized that I had never even realized in business. And it was just a giant thought shift for me, is that how many people, Laura, you'll know the answer to this, how many people in a business should be charged with bringing in money?
Everyone.
Everyone in business is charged with bringing in money. We all know that. But here's the thing. How many people in every business you've worked in, or every business you've ever ran or been around, how many people were in charge of spending money?
It should only be one, but in a lot of cases, it's more, and that's not good.
It's likely one in most small businesses, and the people that you're dealing with. So, a lot of times when you're going out to call on these businesses, or you're sending them a piece of mail or whatever, that's just falling on deaf ears, because it's never getting to the right person to start with. You're marketing to all the people who are charged with bringing in money, when actually you need to get to the person who's charged with spending money. Okay? And that's a big paradigm shift. So how do you get to that person? And that's when Dean developed the full cheese and whisker strategy. And here's how it came about. And it's a great example in this story for you, so you'll understand this. So a very large restaurant organization made a deal with a very large local marketing company, one that I promise you guys come into contact with from time to time. And the very large marketing company decided that they got an endorsement from the restaurant association, and boy, they were just going to kill it, because with the endorsement from the restaurant association, they could go out to all these restaurants and they could market. Now, the numbers that I give you are fuzzy numbers, and if you go to Dean's blog, you can watch this particular segment. He'll tell this story, I think, and give you tighter numbers, but just know that these numbers are not particularly accurate, but they're representative of the general numbers. So basically what they did was they came up with a pretty good headline for an email that says how to fill up your restaurant on Tuesday nights, which you'd think would be a pretty good idea, right? And they sent out a mail to all these restaurateurs that said basically, "Dear Mr. Restaurant Owner, my name is Bob Smith, and I'm with blah, blah, blah marketing. Due to a special arrangement that we've made with the XYZ Restaurant Association, we're able to deliver local marketing services to you at a low discount price and bring you yada, yada, yada." Well, what were they leading with there? They're absolutely leading with their whiskers. "Hi, my name's Bob, and I'm here to sell you something." It's not an original pitch. They've heard it before. I promise you, almost every local business on earth now has had somebody approach them, about marketing. And not surprisingly, very surprisingly to the marketing agency and to the association, but not surprising to a guy like me, the campaign was an absolute flop. They got for 30,000 emails they sent. They got exactly 0 sales, and they got very few leads. It was a disastrous campaign. So they came back to Dean, and they said, Dean, what do we do wrong? We got to fix this. The client's mad. Everybody's mad. It's a total disaster. So Dean sat back and thought about it for a little while, and he went to a Gmail account. And from a normal Gmail account, from a normal person, and you can absolutely do this. You can't do it 1,000 emails a day, but you can do it 10 emails a day, which is probably about all you need. He chose, and he did it on a bigger scale than that, but he chose a segment of the list, and from his normal, maybe it's Dean Jackson or D.A. Jackson or whatever at gmail.com, he emailed a number of these finer restaurants, and the email was just from a person, and the subject line was, do you do wedding catering? ? And there was, I don't even remember if there was a body to the email. There was very little body. Please let me know. Maybe the body was, please let me know if you do wedding catering. Now, when you're thinking about, that sounds like an off-the-cuff thing. It's not an off-the-cuff thing at all. Dean did his homework. If you're a fine restaurant, one of the biggest, most profitable areas of your business is wedding catering. And here's your challenge and your job as a local marketer to make Cheese and Whiskers work for you. When you're targeting a market, you've got to figure out what it is in that market that is the cheese. Like, for instance, for dentists, it's dental veneers, right? Because that's their highest profitable, best stuff. For dry cleaners, it's insurance work. They want to do fire restoration insurance work. It's highly profitable. For photographers, it's probably weddings. For, in each industry, you'll find that there's something in each industry that's very, very, very profitable that if the business gets one of these a month, it can make their whole month, right? So the first email goes out from basically a person's name, and it says, do you do wedding catering? Well, who's probably going to get that mail? Probably not the business owner. Maybe the business owner, but chances are not the business owner. Probably somebody that works there. And they're